You talk directly to the owner of the apartment, and if that person knows that it's two men that is going to live in that house, like living like husbands, some people might tell you no. That goes against their religion. So that's a case that you will find. Welcome to another episode of the Dominican News. Today, I want to talk to you a little bit about the gay community and homosexuality in the Dominican Republic, how tolerant are Dominicans and the country and the government towards gay people or people that have a sexual preference towards the same sex. There are countries where that is prohibited. In Turkey, the laws against the gay community are very, very tough. Now, you're not going to have any problem because you're gay here. You are not going to be allowed to have like a legal marriage here. So you're not going to go to the civil courthouse and get married. So we're not to that level yet, because even though people are not going to bother you just because you're gay or lesbian or whatever, you're not going to have it's not a big deal. No one cares. But legally speaking, you will not get too far. I mean, if you go to Spain or to the US and you get married to your husband if you're a man, or to your wife if you're a woman, you will be able to get married somewhere else. And here you can go ahead and have your ceremony, which is basically like something symbolic. Like, the authorities are not going to do anything against you. They're going to just let you be. You will not have a problem. Of course, you might find some cases of when you go to rent an apartment, and sometimes you don't talk to an attorney. You talk directly to the owner of the apartment, and if that person knows that it's two men that is going to live in that house, like living like husbands, some people might tell you no, because you will find like a lot of Christians here, people that will say no. I don't want you to live in my house, because he or she will not. That goes against their religion. So that's a case that you will find here a lot. But other than that, I don't think you're gonna have like a big deal here, being gay or lesbian or whatever. Let's say you're born man or male, right? You're born male, and that's the sex that is gonna be assigned to your identification. So you're going to be a male, like you're a man. So there's no way that you're going to change that here. That's what you are. Like, the government is not going to see you as a woman just because you say you're a woman.
I'm transgender. My VP, my CEO, all respecting me as a woman. My family, my long-term friends who are actually here with me. All of these people assure me, like, I'm a woman.
You wouldn't fool me at all. I mean, I see a man 100%.
Gender is a social thing. It only makes sense.
I don't want to hear that. What is a woman? What is a woman?
What is a woman?
The word woman, define in the dictionary. Go.
A woman is somebody who is included and respected and seen and participates in society, recognized by other women.
That's how it works. I'm telling you, that's the way it works. If you're born as a female, and then you decide to become a transgender, you did the transition to become a man, the government is going to see you as a woman. It doesn't matter what you do, and that's not going to be considered discrimination by the government, the law, because in your ID it says you're a male, and biologically you were born a male. So the society here is not going to see you as a man if you were born a woman. That's here. I know that in countries like the United States, if a person identifies himself or herself as whatever gender they want, you have to see that person and treat that person as whatever he or she identifies.
I'm not a man.
I thought.
Let's say me, Manuel, I'm a male. Tomorrow, I decide that I want to become a woman. And then I do the transition, I do the transgender process, and I become a woman, right? So here, I will never be a woman, like legally speaking. If I go to a hospital, they're gonna treat me like a man. If you are whatever process legally speaking you're gonna do, you're gonna be treated as a man. And they are not gonna call you a woman just because you want them to call you a woman or just because you see yourself as a woman. And that's not gonna be discrimination here. You're not gonna sue anybody because of that. So that is how it works here. If you are a teacher, like myself, a man, and tomorrow or in your personal life, you like to dress as a woman, yeah, you will be able to do it in your personal life, but you're not going to do that in classroom. Like you are not going to change your gender or your identity in your workplace. They are not going to accept that in the education system. You're a man, you have to behave as a man, like as a socially constructed a man, you know what I'm saying? So no, there's no drag queens going to school to teach kids or to do activities with children. That is not happening.
Through. There's our precious daughter. If they did not know what love meant, who would?
If you are a man that likes to dress as a girl or a woman, you are going to do that in your personal life. You will never do that in your workspace. Like a teacher, for example. There are other areas where you can do it. Like if you work at a beauty salon, things like that, it doesn't really matter. But governmental stuff, you have to be whatever you are. If you're gay, nobody's gonna fuck with that. You will be fine if you're gay. But if you start like wearing makeup, you are probably, they're gonna talk to you like, hey, no, please, you're not gonna bring that to education, children, no. They will always try to keep that separated. Now, just about like 3 days ago, in the military, if you're gay, you are allowed to publicly express yourself as a gay person. You were not allowed 2 weeks ago here. It was just recently implemented. Like, okay, you're gay, no problem. I'm talking about the army, the police, all of that. You were not allowed to publicly behave or say you were gay. So now you are allowed to do that. Like, hey, I'm gay. Nobody's gonna, like be free, like relax. Now, but it doesn't mean that you are gonna put a wig on your head as a man and behave as a woman in the army here. No transgenders are allowed in the army here. None of that. Here, if you see yourself as a cat or as a dog or as a horse, you identify yourself something like that, people are gonna think you're crazy. People are not gonna respect that. They are not gonna call you a dog or cat or treat you like that. They're gonna just treat you as a man, and that's not discrimination. I know that in the United States, you have she, they, them, it. You have a lot of pronouns. Here, you got only two. You got a male and you got a female. Like, in your personal life, your friends are gonna call you them or they. Here, nobody is gonna get into that. Like, they're gonna call you, if you're a man, they're gonna say he or hey, you men. And that's not considered discrimination.
They love him, her, them. I love them.
Not at all. So you're not gonna be able to sue anybody. I'm just telling you, just if you're planning to come here and you identify yourself or you are used to people calling you something else other than female or male, then you are gonna be offended every single day because nobody is gonna call you something else other than female or male. Just to be clear, we have a whole bunch of gay bars in Zona Colonial, in Santo Domingo, in Sosua, in Punta Cana, a whole bunch of gay bars where people, if you're gay, you go there and you're gonna have fun. You're gonna meet a lot of gay people, you're gonna be free there. You can walk in the streets you're able to walk in the streets holding hands with your gay partner. Nobody's gonna bother you, nobody. Here, the major problem is with the pronouns. Nobody's gonna call you anything else other than he or she. If you're gay, but you like to wear as a woman, and you're a teacher in a whole bunch of other professions here, you are not gonna be allowed to behave like that. Let's say you are a basketball player, you're a man, and then you want to play with women, you are not going to be allowed to play with women here because the Dominican Republic sees you as a man. And that's not discrimination here. Nobody's going to care about how you feel. Nobody's going to give a damn about that. I'm just being as clear as I possibly can. If you tell a Dominican in the Dominican Republic that they have to call you like them or something like that, most of Dominicans, they don't even know what you're talking about. Like, what do you mean by that? Once you're born here, they're going to check your genitals or your biological structure. And if you have a uterus, you are a woman. If you have a prostate, if you have testicles and stuff like that, you will be male. And that's how your birth certificate, that's what it's going to say. If you are a teacher and you start telling kids, let's say boys, that they are not boys, that they are probably girls, you will 100% get fired. 100%. Like, you are going to get fired if you do something like that. Like, if you start like playing with their minds, telling them that they're not a boy. Again, I'm not saying that I agree or disagree with that. All I'm saying is how things work here. So I'm just being very clear as I can possibly be. So just in case you are homosexual, I need you to know what to expect when you come here. You're going to be happy. You're going to see a lot of the gay Dominican homosexuals here, and they live their life with no problem, and you also are going to live your life with no problem. You might find, you will probably find your love here. Like, yes, you will, definitely. You have a lot of Dominicans, they will, they're homosexuals publicly and secretly. Like, the community here is huge, but the rights in the DR versus the ones in the United States are very different. In conclusion, there are only two sexes here, female, male. Whatever your definition of gender is, cool. But remember, here, female and male. If you're gay, cool. If you're lesbian, cool. No problem. Just keep in mind that when it comes to the government, legal stuff, even the society, they will not see you as anything else than either a male or a female. Thank you very much for subscribing. Thank you for supporting the Dominican News. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.